132 million people worldwide suffer from depression, which is characterized by feelings of poor self-worth, difficulty concentrating, and disturbed sleep are among other unhelpful symptoms. This is according to the World Health Organization (WHO). Teenagers between the ages of 13 and 18 are also at risk, with the prevalence of depression among them rising by 52% from 2005 to 2020. Depression is also linked to a number of major issues such as dropping out of school, increased rates of unintended pregnancies, strained interpersonal relationships, and an increased risk of substance addiction and suicidality. Worrying statistics, don't you think? Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I am Siti Nora Shikin, and let us now look into more details on this interesting topic. My topic is why we should limit the use of social media to overcome depression. In today's world, many of us rely on social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, and Instagram to find and connect with each other. While each has its benefits, it's important to remember that social media can never be a replacement for face-to-face humans connection. The social media platform Instagram made headlines last year for suppressing likes in an effort to curb the comparisons and hurt feelings associated with attaching popularity to sharing content. But do these efforts combat mental health issues, or are they simply applying a band-aid to a wound? Social media has a reinforcing nature. Using it activates the brain's reward center by releasing dopamine, a feel-good chemical linked to pleasurable activities such as sex, food, and social interaction. Next is the inadequacy about your life or appearance. Even if you know that images you're viewing on social media are manipulated, they can still make you feel insecure about how you look or what's going on with your life. Similarly, we are all aware that other people tend to share just the highlights of their lives, rarely the low points that everyone experiences. But that doesn't lessen those feelings of envy and dissatisfaction when you're scrolling through a friend's airbrush photos of the tropical beach holiday or reading about their exciting new promotion at work. Many users pay a high price for the instant connection social media provides, begging the question, does social media cause depression? Recent research seems to link excessive social network usage to many mental health problems, including depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. Social media also is associated with reduced attention span, sleep difficulties, and hyperactivity. With an estimated 4 billion people using social media worldwide, social media depression has become a front-burner issue for mental health professionals. The numbers may look great from a business perspective, but psychologists and mental health professionals may find them alarming. More than half the world now exposes itself daily to an experience known to cause mental health challenges, and all this is happening in a relatively short time. So what are the solutions that we can propose to satisfy the problems? In 2018, University of Pennsylvania study found that reducing social media use to 30 minutes a day resulted in a significant reduction in levels of anxiety, depression, loneliness, sleep problems, and FOMO, a fear of missing out. But you don't need to cut back on your social media use that drastically to improve your mental health. The same study concluded that just being more mindful of your social media use can have beneficial results on your mood and focus. While 30 minutes a day may not be a realistic target for many of us, we can still benefit from reducing the amount of time we spend on social media. The second solution is that you don't have to stay off social media completely. It can be a healthy outlet when used in moderation. The key is finding a balance that works for your lifestyle. Start by restricting your social media access to just one device, your personal phone, the tablet you keep at home, or your laptop, for example. Do not log in on other devices, especially if you use them at work. Try to limit the time you spend on social media by creating a schedule. Example, only check social media while you eat breakfast or after you come home from work. Do not check it on your lunchtime or at least an hour before bed. Next If you feel heavily addicted to social media, you may need to retrain your mind and body. Try to take a full week off, no social media access whatsoever. You may need longer than that depending on your addiction. Try to find other ways to occupy your time, like reading a good book series or binge watching a show you've never seen. For instance, I personally don't mind Twitter as much because of its more conversational style and the fact that I am not obliged to post a picture. Another solution is you can try to be creative. Try to do things with your hands and step away from the phones, the computer, or any other media device. For example, we can try to go back to the old way by using sketchbook, a diary, and a Polaroid. And then we can also try to be authentic. This is what I struggle most with social media. I have to remind myself that the things we read and see online aren't always true. It is merely a tiny glimpse of someone's reality and not the sum total of it. The filters available won't do us any good. It gives us some sort of confirmation that we are not beautiful without it. I think that losing sight of who we really are is often the cause of depression. So what can we achieve with all these solutions? First, you will soon remember what life was like before social media. Next, focusing our energies on one or maybe two can actually ease off the pressure and reduce the feeling of dread and overwhelm. It is also more useful to have a good solid network of 200 people rather than thousands, and also having a small curated group of friends would ensure that the feed is free of things that might cause envy, competitiveness, and depression. For me, if I am not online on social media, I am able to trust my instinct much more, as I am not constantly doubting myself or comparing myself to others. It is so important to have that alone time. Last but not least, when you post, interact, and engage with social media, be yourself. Being genuine and true to ourselves can be so refreshing and can ease off any pressures that we might be putting on ourselves. One of the biggest differences in the lives of current teenagers and young adults compared to earlier generations is that they spend much less time connecting with their peers in person and more time connecting electronically through social media. So the actions that we can take is perhaps we need to not blindly follow the crowd but find a way forward that works just right for us. Next, we can try to remember that social media can never be a replacement for real-world human connection. It requires in-person contact with others to trigger the hormones that elevate stress and make you feel happier, healthier, and more positive. Ironically, for a technology that's designed to bring people closer together, spending too much time engaging with social media can actually make you feel more lonely and isolated. While we don't yet have conclusive evidence that social media use actually causes depression, we do have plenty of warning signs that it may be affecting our lives negatively. In a nutshell, I would like to firmly stand on my ground that we should limit the use of social media simply to overcome depression. Please be more alert on your surroundings and let us all move forward to a better future. Thank you.